Welcome to a video that I've entitled Programmability in T-SQL or Transact SQL. This video is going to kind of serve as a gateway into a section in the course called Programmability. And what I want to do in this particular video is give you a visual. If you can get your head wrapped around how programmability works, why we would want to use it, it makes understanding the code a whole lot easier. So let's go through this. So you've written this really useful piece of Transact SQL code. It makes sure that you comply with regulations. When a new patient, a new customer, a new client, whatever you call them, when they first come to your company for your service, you run a bunch of commands against databases, against all sorts of things, and you determine their eligibility, you determine the legality of working with these people, whatever it is. But you've written this code, let's say it's 60 lines of code. Wow, it's just so good that you kind of start to paste it in all kinds of various scripts and all kinds of other code locations out there in your database coding. And before you know it, you've got a number of copies of this out there. Then you go to that meeting, right? And they tell you that, rules have changed, the legals have changed on it, and now you need to make some changes to your code. We've got to check for two other conditions. You've got code everywhere. And it's all got to be changed. It's got to be changed one at a time, and it's all got to be doing the same thing. So you go out there, what's it going to hurt? You spend a weekend or two, right? Instead of doing something at home, wasting time, enjoying yourself, you're at work. And you go through these and you locate all the instances and you change them except you miss two. So now in the upcoming days and weeks, you're starting to get these bizarre errors because in two places out there where you had this program, this code, they're no longer the same as the rest of the database. Now you've got integrity issues in your database, and now you've got integrity issues as a developer. And again, it's a great place to find yourself moving into a new career. So we don't want to do this. Let's talk about how we can solve this from a programmability standpoint. We could create a stored procedure. And when I create a stored procedure, I'm going to take all this really useful code that I have, these 60 lines, and I'm going to encapsulate it as a stored procedure called useful code. If I need to execute this useful code, I just call execute useful code from that code. And what's going to happen then, my stored procedure gets called from code wherever it's needed. But notice everybody is calling the exact same code. Now it's consistent. Now it's all in one place. And what's even better, when I go to that meeting and they say everything has changed, what I'm going to do is I'll just, go back to my desk and I will make the appropriate changes to my stored procedure called useful code, right? And everywhere out here where people are executing useful code, the next time they execute it, they all get the updated version. So I change it in one place and immediately everybody gets it everywhere whenever they call it. That is the power of programmability. And it even goes farther than that. It even reaches out to things like security and performance, but we won't get into that right now. We'll talk about that later. But if you can get your head around the visuals here by encapsulating our functionalities into database objects and putting them in one place and having every instance of a need for that code to run to execute that code from that one place, it really helps us maintain control, functionality, consistency with everything that's happening with our database. So that's a real quick look at programmability in T-SQL. And again, this is a jumping off point. We're going to move into talking about things like stored procedures, table variables that we can use in stored procedures, functions, and those sorts of things. So join me in the next few videos, and we're going to move a little deeper here into programmability in T-SQL.